Alright guys, it's Prince. Welcome to another video, another match replay that I have playing in Ultra League in Season 14. This is another one with my boys Soccervin and Thundertoes, and it was against a very formidable team. Just looking at the opposing team, one thing that stands out to me is all of the ribbons that they have, the green and blue ribbons on the top left. That indicates that they've played those Pokemon for quite a long time. I gotta tell you, some of those players were really tough to fight. In particular, Jinx on the Urshifu. Mad respects to that player. They really gave us a hard time. Now this is the first video that features Soccervin on Talonflame. It's a new speedster that he's been trying out. And being as he is our go-to jungler, that's where he's going to be. Thundertoes will be down in the bottom lane with my good old Defender Rock Tomb Crustle build. So one thing that's apparent from early on is that we have 3 different Pokemon that evolve twice. We have the Talonflame, the Garchomp, and the Dragonite. In contrast, our opponents have no Pokemon that have to evolve twice, and 2 that don't even have to evolve once. So that really shows that their team is going to have to that their team is much more likely to take a lead in the beginning. Now, the way that I count who's leading in the beginning, and this is probably pretty basic information, the reason we left that Bunnelby there closer to our goal is we have to try and win this middle farm, this Indeedee right here. It's just as close to us as it is to them, so whoever takes it not only gets the XP for themselves, but also takes it away from the opposing team. So we're already off to a good start. Now we can go back and focus on our farm. I think they get some scores on us, but we're able to punish them. Now that Eevee had an eject button, and the Slowpoke is not as easy prey, but we are able to take it down because, true to its name, it was very slow. The Eevee without its partner is too weak to contest this Indeedee against us, so we win them both. This is fantastic. Now here I retreat. My goal is to take the Baltoy that appears at 9 o'clock behind our goal. Thundertoes, being the aggressive player that he is, had other ideas, and I didn't notice that he went to continue harassing the Eevee at their goal, which was funny. See, here's the Baltoy that I'm trying to get. I forget when I noticed that Thundertoes was over there being super aggressive, but if you guys saw, see that Fletchinder on the map? There is Soccervin heading over to help out. Now, one thing that's cool about Soccervin's Talonflame here is that he's actually equipped with the Cursed Bangle. So he is very good at diving into enemy goals when they're in a weakened state. And you're going to see the Eevee drop right around here. Yep, there's the KO. Gank successful despite the opponent hiding out in their goal. The cursed items are pretty good at goal diving. And we get the KO on the Slowpoke. We get some scores. We secure all of the birds. We are winning extremely hard on this bottom path, and we take the middle Indeedee. We're fighting here for this Eevee. I don't believe I secure it. No, the Swift takes that, and he finally gets his Sylveon. But we're feeling good. I have an Exp.Share. I'm level 5. That Sylveon just now got to level 4. The Slowpoke is still level 3. I have a level 7 Gabite. I accidentally put that Rock Tomb there. I do not remember how that happened. But definitely accidentally trolled my buddy Thundertoes there. So we might have been able to get them a little faster. Now, one thing I noticed is that Urshifu has a KO streak of 2. So just like our Talonflame got down here and helped us win the bottom lane really hard, the Urshifu is doing the same thing to us over there. This Rotini is still level 4 in our team, and they just died. We don't have a Serena yet. Oh, does Serena evolve twice as well? Oh my goodness, I need to learn my Pokemon facts. We have not 3, but 4 Pokemon that need to evolve twice. I am so silly. I'm not as familiar with the Pokemon from the newer generation, so I guess I misspoke earlier. But rewinding here a bit, you notice that it's just under 8 minutes. And what happens at 8 minutes is that there's a pack of birds, Altaria and Swablu, that spawn right in the middle of the map. So that is where Thundertoes is heading. Of course, we can't see the enemies on the map. I'm hovering around here, and I notice by looking at the map that when he approaches there, the Slowpoke's bubble shows up, and so does the Pikachu's. So I'm thinking, oh, let me go help him with that, because if one of the bottom laners is there, we can go guarantee that, because it's good for us to secure as much XP as possible to get a Garchomp as fast as possible. And Sokovin's thinking the same thing. He's the jungler, he's going to the 8-minute birds, and what I didn't take into account is that both the Zeraora and the Urshifu would be here doing the same exact thing. Now, our Garchomp's not the only one that's super fed at level 8. This Urshifu's also level 8, and Urshifu is much stronger than Gabite, being already fully evolved himself. So with the help of the Slowbro, they easily take down Tito's here. Now I'm kind of alone. Sokovin's coming in from the right side, but there's also a Zeraora, so the backup is cancelled out. That is so much damage. They make short work of both Crustle and Fletchinder here. And wow, that is our first taste of defeat for the bottom laners, because meanwhile, while all that was happening, Sylveon was scoring at our base. So for now we still had... Oh no, excuse me, now we're at an energy deficit in terms of how much our goals have been scored on. We've already lost a goal on top lane, and now there's 20 seconds till the objectives, and these fights are usually pretty important. They by no means decide who's going to win the match, but if one team starts rolling through all of the objectives, things can spiral out of control very quickly. Now here this Pikachu gets caught behind our goal, and he's the weakest member of their team at the moment, or tied for it at level 6, so it's not going to get much value. Here we show up way too late. We don't... I can't tell if we secured a birder or not from there. So I'm waiting here. The reason our jungler is here, and their Zeraora is here as well, unfortunately, is because of the bottom objective. You would rather go for the bottom Reggie than the top, as a general rule. But unfortunately, the Zeraora is hitting really hard. He takes down our Fletchinder too early, and we just kind of split up when we're going to them. They had the advantage of having to being able to fight near their goal, whereas we had to kind of get close to them. Probably a mistake on our end. At least we got our Talonflame. So I decide here, I said, Thundertoes, let's give up on that objective. The same Pokemon, we didn't kill any of them, so the same ones are still down there. So let's just take advantage of our recently broken goal that spawned these Indeedis on the side of the map, take all of that XP, get Garchomp, and then go back and engage the fight. And I think this was a great idea by us. It was a little bit too costly in terms of time. They all have already ripped the bottom Reggie. So right now I'm thinking, let's go to the top, I'm pivoting, but then I see them on the mini-map coming up to the goal, and I said, you know what? Garchomp is much better against objectives than Crustle is, so why don't you go up and I will stay and defend the goal. And that is what we decide, and luckily Sokovin is already up there. So Zeraora, who is a top laner, is already down here. So this looks pretty good for the objective top lane. If I can keep them busy here, the chance that I survive against these guys, not very high. The Zeraora and the Sylveon are 2 levels above me. The Pikachu is 1 level above me. Even with the healing from my goal zone, I don't stand too much of a chance here. Now, if I were 1 level above and had my Unite move, maybe there's a shot. But at least I'm thinking I can hold them off long enough to waste enough time, and sure enough, we do get that top Regieleki, and we're starting to score. I see that Garchomp just deposited 15 into their goal. Serena KOs the Slowbro, which was the only one up there. I don't know who threw a Gather up there. Serena continues to score. All is looking good. And so we head into our jungle. We meet the Sylveon there. We chase it downward. Urshifu was farming at the bottom lane, I think. But anyway, I was making my way down there and I noticed that all of them die. They mysteriously got vaporized after approaching the Urshifu. So here I decide to hide in the grass. Wait for them to show up, because I know they're coming here after our defenses have been wiped. But now we are starting to get the jump pad. Or actually, no. We just casually walk down here. Still 5 seconds till the jump pad. And this Dragonite engages. He wants his revenge against this Urshifu. And I know this Urshifu has the highest level on the map. Although our Serena's doing pretty well now too. Probably thanks to all that scoring and the killing on Slowbro and everything. But basically what I'm trying to say is Urshifu's been doing really well, getting lots of kills, farming lots of wild Pokemon, so I know that he's a high level, which means if we kill him, he's worth the most XP. And here's where I'm able to corner the Urshifu with a Rock Tomb. Now, if he had had more time and hadn't been stun locked, probably could have dashed out of that Rock Tomb, but the Dragonite was just applying so much pressure on top of my X-Scissor that we still got him. Now, the Pikachu ends up finishing the Dragonite, but nabbing that Urshifu was our main priority. Now he's not well, actually, he's still got plenty of time to come down to the bottom objective. Pikachu goes, gets some farm. He's level 11 now, but our Serena's showing up. We've got 3 people here. I move forward a little bit just to get a better sight on when they decide to go in. Now here, this is the power of Garchomp here. Serena and I don't have to do anything to that objective. We know that Garchomp, even by himself, can rip it extremely quickly with very little chance of actually getting killed by the objective. Most good players will not get killed by an objective in Ultra Rank, but for Garchomp it's extremely simple just because of that lifesteal, and he actually rips it ridiculously fast in comparison to other Pokemon. So all the Serena and I have to do is keep the enemy busy, and the Garchomp will do its magic. So here, Pikachu can't 1v2 us. We are just too much. And by the time we're done killing the Pikachu, Garchomp has just about taken the objective. Talonflame actually came in and secured it. Now I see that there's an Urshifu coming back. There's Jinx. We caught a Slowbro over here and killed it, and there's too many of us for the Urshifu to overtake. So now we're looking pretty good. If we rewind to about here, before we got Garchomp, the scores were 208 to 66. And I remember thinking at around this time in the match, oh my gosh, we're never going to be able to win this. And Thundertoes had to say, no, we still have a good chance. And the thing that I wasn't thinking about at the time is just how late game loaded our team composition really was. I'm the Carcel player, so I'm used to basically being good very early on in the game, even with the Exp.Share slowing my experience gain. I love how I have the little rock in my little crab hand about to hit the Indeedee. If you guys didn't know, every third auto attack for every Pokemon is a boosted auto attack. But for Crustle and Dwebble, when their animation for the boosted auto attack, they just pick up a rock and smack whoever they're hitting with it. It's quite adorable. But anyway, yes, we were always meant to get steamrolled in the early game just because of how many evolutions we needed to get into the late game. And that's something that I wasn't taking into account when I was looking at this 208 versus 66 point difference. Right? So we were over... Whoops. A little too far. Right around here, the Talonflame secures the Registeel. We find the Slowbro back here. Kill it. The Urshifu follows me into a pack of my allies and gets killed. And here there is less than 2 minutes until Rayquaza. I went up to try and get the Midbirds. I saw the little dot, but the Zeraora had beaten me here. Now fortunately, he's no match for both me and the jungler. So now we're heading up, trying to get the top Reggie too. And now we're going to try and start steamrolling the game. And look at how fast our rip is when we're together. This Slowbro came back after being killed the first time, and he's not having a great time over here. He's going to get easily ripped, just like the Regieleki. And the boys are going to push it to the goal zone, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, we threw up a retreat. Why is that? I don't know. I think someone miscalled that because none of us actually retreated. We're trying to escort this Regieleki over to the goal so that we can break this one. Now what's happening as we're doing this, I'm noticing at the bottom of the map, is Pikachu and Sylveon just got to walk up to our bottom goal uncontested, basically, and just score as much as they wanted there. So as cool as this is, just walking up, getting the Regieleki buff, scoring on their goal, and breaking it, it cost us a little. Now Sokovan is at the top, farming the Indeedees. He wants to make sure he's as high of a level as possible before the Rayquaza fight, because we're going to need it in this team fight. This game is now close enough, and we all know it, by looking at the goals that are broken, we're going to need this Rayquaza at the very end. Or at the very least, we cannot let the enemy team take that Rayquaza buff. It is going to end us for sure. So now there's less than 30 seconds to go. We congregate there. We find that Sokovan finds the Sylveon in the jungle. He's been having troubles with that Sylveon. He was telling me I'm finally going to get rid of the Sylveon. And he actually does kill this... Oh no, he gets the Sylveon weak and gets killed by the Pikachu, but we end up finishing off the Sylveon. So we lost one Talonflame, and the Garchomp, in exchange for the Pikachu and the Sylveon. Fair trade? I think... I don't know. I think the Slowbro and Urshifu and Zeraora still being alive are quite a headache. So here I'm seeing the Slowbro is near the bottom. We have already started fighting. If anyone gets wiped here, while the other team gets to keep all of their pieces, they just instantly win. But that's not what's happening here. So I threw on my Unite, and I think it was a little late. I should have been able to get more out of this Unite move than I actually did. And now this is actually really interesting. So what ended up happening is at this point, Ryusei, the Zeraora kills the Dragonite, and I kill the Zeraora, and this Urshifu is trying to kill me, and this is where I panic press Rebel Rouser, my Unite move. And luckily Sakavin is back to dive them. We kill the Urshifu. I get Slowbro united, but it doesn't kill me because I have a shield that is just massive from the Unite move. And the Slowbro Unite by itself can't actually break that. So we kill the Slowbro here too, but we lost the Dragonite, and Serena's all the way in the back, and now Sylveon and Pikachu, the first ones to die, are coming back. It's like an endless wave here. I'm trying to figure out how to win this, because if we're stuck in an endless cycle of 2 of us die, then 2 of them die, then 3 of us die, then 3 of them die, and then 2 of ours come back, and then the 2 of theirs come back, and then they kill each other. If it's an endless cycle, we're going to lose because the enemy has 1 goal zone left, and we have none. So we're going to need to do something quick here. And this felt like a good opportunity for maybe us to start ripping, but dang, that Sylveon dealt a lot of damage to the Garchomp. We're not healthy enough to initiate that fight. Now the Serena's back, but the Zeraora's almost coming back as well, and Garchomp does get taken down, and he's one of our best tools against the objectives like Rayquaza. Now here is what am I trying to say? This is the part where the tide kind of shifts. Zeraora shows up to the middle. Not entirely sure if he sees Sakavin or not. I'm thinking he sees no one and just starts engaging the Rayquaza despite seeing that 3 of us are alive somewhere. I think he knows that Pikachu has the Serena down at the bottom of the map. And this is honestly okay from his perspective. Pikachu isn't the greatest at dealing damage to objectives, and he's got Urshifu and Slowbro backing him up. So they come in and they start dealing damage to the Ray while our Garchomp is down. So, at this point, Sakavin moves and Urshifu sees him in the bush, and he's chasing him, but once he sees my Crustle, he backs out. He says, no, we're just going to destroy this Rayquaza. And oh man, I X-Scissor in here a little bit too far out, but I don't want to get combo locked before I go into the Rayquaza. This is a really, really tense situation, and to see this next move, the only way to do it justice is to switch perspectives right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the bravest of birds. So yes, as you could see there, Talonflame's Brave Bird deals well over 1,000 damage to the Rayquaza, instantly finishing it off. And we get the Rayquaza shield. At this point, it was such a close fight that whoever got the Rayquaza was going to win this game. And luckily for us, Talonflame has fantastic secure if we're able to time it right. So here we easily break their bottom goal. He's harassing the Sylveon with the power of his Rayquaza shield, which he loses, but he already scored. And now, of course, it's just anyone could win from this position. We're just up here bullying them, scoring on them. Everything that was relevant to the match win just happened a little bit earlier. And this is how the match ends. As Rayquaza matches tend to end, with the match looking way more lopsided than it truly was. But it was a fantastic game. Our opponents were so good. Our allies were also really good. It's one of those games that just, I knew I wanted to record it as soon as it ended. What a fantastic steal on the Rayquaza. What a fantastic, change in momentum based on who was winning, how well we were winning the bottom lane at first, how badly we were losing the top lane, how the tide started turning on us midway through. We were at an almost 200 energy point difference, and then we came back heroically in the end, securing a lot of objectives. Just an overall really great game. Shout out to all of these players. They all played really well. And yeah, that's kind of how a late game heavy team can use its advantages to swing the game at the very end despite losing at the beginning. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.